This is Talk That Talk podcast with Ben.
And Tiff, find us on YouTube at The Loftons and Anchor.fm at Talk That Talk The Loftons. Click on all the links below to shop with us, follow us, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now let's get to the conversation.
So, the topic that we discussing today is regarding some of our past experiences before we met each other, and we're gonna kind of dab on when we did meet. But really, the discussion is about the issues people have with approaching people in dating, and what was some of our red flags when somebody, when somebody approached Tiff, or when my red flags when I was approaching somebody. We're just going to discuss our experiences because, like we always say, not always say too, but discussed before, it seemed like people have a hard time with this, approaching people. But if I just found always something that was always interesting to me, just from getting feedback from my wife, is that and now that I've opened my eyes to notice it more, there's an issue, especially in the Black community, with women kind of cycling through all the mess to find somebody. And, for men, we don't think about it like that because we just seem like, it's more to go from, especially when we're really not looking all the time for what women are looking for.
Well, just to give you a little backstory, we are very open about our past. We talk about our past like we're friends. We are friends, we're best friends. So we can talk about that. We open. We are very open about how we talk about our exes or those things that happened to us in our past.
But we won't be name dropping them.
Of course not. But that's how we communicate to know who we are today for each other based upon some of those things that happened to us in our past experience with others. So that's more or less what we're going to talk about, and what are some of those red flags. So you want to start with you, sir? What are some of your past red flags?
Why it gotta be me first?
Okay, whatever. I'll go first because I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid either, but ladies go first.
Okay, however. So some of those red flags that I looked back in the past, and he's one of those that I said in the beginning of our relationship of being that...
How this boomerang to me first?
Because I'm giving you an example that we talk about all the time of that red flag person is them leather jacket wearing males. So I don't know how many ladies out there like these type of dudes.
Please explain what you mean by
leather jacket people, to me, and this is just my opinion of what I feel, I would not talk to a leather jacketer. At that time, now today is you got different leather jackets now, but that leather jacket guy back then was probably the one that started trouble in the club. He was the one that had something in his pocket. He smelled like pure weed. He probably had dreads. And when I say dreads, I'm saying those uncontrollable, thick, ugly dreads. Now, new dreads now that you get them done, to each his own. But we talking about them type of guys.
This sounds like stereotyping to me, man.
No, I'm only telling you the guys that I did not like. I'm not stereotyping every single guy. Every single guy that I met who had on a leather jacket back then looked like that. And those were the type of guys that I would not give the time of day to. I'm sorry. It was just my opinion on that particular guy. Now today, a leather jacket wearing guy, they probably got to be in a business attire in some way, speak a better, them guys, they had goals in their mouth back then. They had the gold teeth. Their breath stank. They're loud.
Just because you had gold teeth don't mean your breath stink.
I'm telling you, their breath stink. I didn't say the world breath stink.
Okay,
I said their breath stink.
When I had my gold teeth, my breath didn't stink.
We're not talking about you. See how you trying to boomerang yourself back in this? We talking about that guy for me back then. No, that was just not someone I would give someone, a time of day in a public setting. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. Or private, I wouldn't do it. So.
Or private.
I just wouldn't give a time of day. Bottom line,
because
I just wouldn't do it.
Sometimes when they say, "Oh no, he ain't my type," I heard that before, and then
that was not my type. The leather jacketers were not my type. Sorry.
Behind those find out you are their type.
No. No. It was just my persona of those type of guys
Been
back
there
then.
before. You ain't got to bring me out in the light.
Anyway, moving on. So give your first red flag of the past woman back then. Who was that woman that will raise your eyebrow and be like, keep moving?
Well, red flag back then was the ones that came out and automatically asked for some money.
How does someone automatically come and ask for money? It takes time to get to that
No,
step.
man.
I met you in a grocery store. I'm going to ask you for some money? Unless I'm really in dire need or something. Like, I'm not trying to holler at you. I just need money.
It's one phone call that, you go past that introduction phone call. Hey, yeah. Wherever y'all met at, you kind of discussed that a little bit, what you were doing. Yeah. Okay. The phone hang up. You make another phone call. Yeah, okay. You want to go here? Either it's a yes or no. And some of them so bold too, where they just went and straight said, well, no, I can't because I need to pay for this, or I need to do that. And you like,
so they automatically seeming a little vulnerable, like they need your help a little bit on the second or third phone call.
yeah, you look.
But they just gonna put it out there in a different way and just say my bills or something got to be done. So I can't
some
really go
of
and
them,
hang with you.
no. Some of them will go straight to it and tell you that.
Oh.
Some of them will just go straight to it. To, I need you to do yada yada yada, this, that, and the third.
Well, a woman would do that because they done got away with doing it with others.
Yeah, well, they weren't getting away with this one.
Okay,
And then
so
some of them would just, after y'all had sex, then they ask you, oh, well, can you, wait a minute.
Can you what?
Can you pay this? Can you help me out with this?
Oh.
Can you, man, and then sometimes y'all ain't really went on a real date. It ain't been nothing, and that's so those were red flags for me. The automatically asking for money from the beginning, it just looks like nah, man. You on the bullshit, and then they catch your attitude about it because you like, no. Oh, well, somebody else. Well, let that somebody else pay it for you then and buy it for you because I'm not here to pay your bill.
So how does that red flag then help your marriage today?
Well, that shit.
I'd like to know. Because this one asks for money all the time.
Yeah, I know you ask for money all the time.
But I didn't ask for the money in the
Yeah,
beginning.
you didn't. So I guess that's a hint for some people. Hold up on asking for stuff in the beginning. Now, y'all established or something that's different.
The word says, Benjamin, speak it into existence and it will come. You give it out to the universe.
Yeah, but sometimes you giving out to the universe some shit they ain't gonna have.
Well,
because the first conversation don't need to be about money. And just, let's be real. When if a man come to a woman and their first conversation is about having sex, do that not run y'all away?
it depends on the woman. I can't say every single woman would
Okay,
run
but
away.
majority of women, they probably gonna look at not majority, but a lot
I don't
of
know
women
about
gonna sit
majority,
here-
but I can't put a
A
statistic
lot of women
on
gonna sit here
a
and
number
look at
on
it.
it.
A lot of women gonna sit here and look at this and say, "Well, y'all want to have sex. Y'all want to do this and that."
Women can be the same way, Benjamin. Some women like one night stands and keep it moving too.
Yeah, I know,
Not
but
everybody
I
wants a
understand
relationship
that,
today.
but there's gonna be some that come with the other mess too. The whole point is asking for money off rip for me was a red flag.
Okay, so my next red flag, moving on so we don't make this so long. My next red flag was I guess the guy who don't know how to talk to you in a way. So they'll come to you and they'll pull your wrist and like, hey, what's up? Can I holler at you for a minute? Or they hold you under your elbow and be like, excuse me. Or something like that. Or they do this. Now, listen to me clear. Psst.
Oh Lord, you showing your age.
Psst.
What you got?
That's when you say some stupid shit like that. When you're trying to get a grown woman. Well, I was always very mature for my age. So to say, don't roll your eyes like that, because you know I was.
I don't know, because I
You know I
wasn't
was
around.
because I say it all the time, and you hear it from others. So you have examples.
A lot of people say they would have went to the pros if something.
No, we're not
happened,
talking
but
about just me. We're talking about what you heard from others. Thank you.
I
So,
haven't heard nothing from others.
I am saying that
I'm not going to co-sign that.
not speaking clearly, coming to me and approaching me, or in another way, staring. You're staring from a distance. It's very rude. We always know today staring is rude. But I used to have guys that would just stare. Like literally stare. Don't say a word. Just stare until you have to look at them and be like, you have a problem? Is something wrong? And they'd be like, oh no, no. And then they can't come out and speak. Which I guess in them, that's probably
Well, I
their
guess-
shyness, I guess. But then
Yeah,
that don't
but-
do nothing for me. You can't be shy for me because I'm a big mouth. I'm a big presence. So you need to come correct straight off.
Well, what if they did come correct straight off? Would you still have a problem?
I probably won't have a problem because that's not a pet peeve. Coming off straight off means you can be brutal, you can be honest. Whatever that brutal honesty is, I can respect that.
Well, I think that's the thing too. Like, and we just talking from what we've heard because we don't know nothing about what's currently going on there. We just hearing it.
Yeah, we so out of the
what-
game.
Yeah, we ear hustling right now, hearing other people saying certain things and stuff. And just with that shit, I learned from when I was young, like the worst thing somebody can tell you is no.
Yeah,
And that's with everything.
yeah.
So you can go ahead and shoot your shot. You don't know what she's gonna say until you ask.
Yeah.
She might just say no. If she say no, you tell her, hey, you have a nice day. I hope you enjoy your night, whatever the case may be, and go on. Because it's been plenty of times that's happened. I've done that in the face. The girl makers like she wasn't expecting that for somebody to say that, and then sometimes you say that, and I've had times where I do that, and somebody who's sitting there next to her or around may hear that and saying something to me about it, and that struck up a conversation just because they were like, usually, dudes act like this when you give them a rejection.
Okay, so what's your next pet peeve?
My next pet peeve, you can't be cleaning my shoulders off while we're making a video.
What's your next pet peeve? Because a pet peeve right now is looking at this damn hair on your shirt.
See what I'm saying? You getting all loud in the video. That's why nobody wanted to approach your ass, because they didn't
I
want to
was
hear
not
that.
getting loud. They didn't know anything about my
That's
loudness
why they knew
initially.
they
Thank
knew
you.
it was coming. They was already
But
intimidated.
then guess what? You know what the old saying says? There's somebody for everybody. And this somebody deals with this big mouth.
Yeah, I
Thank
I
you.
guess
What's
so.
your next pet peeve?
I guess so. It is somebody.
What's your next pet peeve, sir?
Help me. I would say a sticky floor, and a sticky car console.
Sticky car console?
Yep, that's right.
Are you getting in someone's car like
Yeah.
that?
Anytime somebody got to go on,
I didn't know you was getting in female cars like that. I thought it was they're getting in your car, not you getting in their car.
well,
We never had that discussion.
I guess we having it now, huh?
Okay.
Yes. I mean, I got in your
The
car,
male-
didn't I? Did I not get in your car?
Yeah, you did, but it's just
And I
weird.
checked you too to make sure it wasn't sticky.
You should have known that from work, cause
I don't know that.
you can
might-
assume it, Benjamin.
No,
you can look
can't-
at
you can't
Benjamin. I
assume-
assumed a lot from you when we first started working.
And
So
was everything right that you assumed?
yes,
No, you a lie.
it was right.
She a lie.
It was
Because if
right.
that was the case, since I was such the leather jacket guy, if she kept assuming, we wouldn't be having this conversation on
You
YouTube
were not the
right
leather
now.
jacket guy at work, Benjamin.
Yeah. So anywho, I'm going back to what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the
Excuse
big mouth.
me.
Sticky, ma'am, I am trying to talk to
Go ahead, Sticky.
sticky consoles in their car and a sticky floor in their house. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to explain to you. If you go into somebody's house, especially a female's house, and your shoes make you feel like your foot gets stuck to the floor when you walk anywhere near their kitchen, that's a sticky floor. That tell you a couple things. Man, they ain't cleaning up in here. And you
And
start
how
seeing
long
them
did you
little
stick
black
around?
spots.
How long did you stick around for a sticky floor?
Boy, about face.
You always was about face for every single.
do you
How many
wanna-
sticky floors did you
Well,
have?
I done experienced enough sticky floors and enough sticky consoles too.
Damn, your number is very high. If you have so many sticky floors,
I never said, look.
or is it that type of woman that you attract? Is a sticky floor woman?
Well, obviously, all women ain't what they seem out. Because in public, everybody put on their best, but you don't know somebody until you really start talking to them. And that house and that car tell you a lot. Man, inside your your cup holder looks dirty.
He in there looking at cup holders.
Now I'm looking at, yeah, you're right. They look at you.
Did you
like
look
that.
at the AC vents too?
Damn sure do. They look at, fellas, women look at us like that. They always talking some, oh, he ain't got no haircut. Oh, his shoes dirty. Yeah, I'm looking at your cup holder.
Lord,
Man, so them, wait a minute, man, you got a bunch of trash in here. I know I ain't go to McDonald's with you right now, and you got McDonald's stuff in here, and
okay.
so that means you don't keep stuff clean. So if you don't keep that clean, what else you ain't keeping clean?
So I guess that's why my car. I'm not a sticky person, but we have kids. They make a mess in the car. So I guess this is why he washes the car every single Sunday to make sure that I don't have a sticky anything in my car. So I can appreciate that. I won't make the mess for you, but I do make a mess sometimes. I'm just not that messy. I'm
People
not.
don't need to hear all that messy, man.
I don't. Anyway, moving on to my next. So the next thing that I had as a pet peeve back then was guys who seem very interested in the beginning and they calling you, they ringing you off the hook, they texting you, whatever that may be, and then they just disappear. The disappearing acts is just, it came out of just, sometimes with some of the guys, it just come out of the clear blue sky.
I might have to interject in that one, Mel.
Why?
You don't think it might have been you?
No, because they come back around. I'm not saying that they just disappear forever. They disappear for a couple days, and then it's always an excuse about, oh man, my cell phone got cut off and I ain't paid a bill. It was some shit like that. And I can tell you what those led to was additional lies. Let me just be clear. At
so
the
that's
end
what,
factor.
Oh, that's what we're getting at. You're getting at there was some additional lies.
It was some additional, it was
okay.
always an additional lie on top of that.
I'm sorry, because I was about to say maybe you just weren't interested in them.
Okay, if it was that case, then but it never went to disappearing forever, is what I'm saying. You didn't disappear and was gone forever. It was an excuse that came with the disappearance. And then I would say maybe within the next
was the phone
couple...
was the phone really off, or were you getting sent to the voicemail? And how many times you called?
I mean, I didn't call like back to back. I would call that one day, maybe that next day, maybe in another 6-7 hours or something. It wasn't like a back to back type of thing.
I'm trying to say,
I wasn't thirsty like
I'm
that.
about to say, that seemed a little stalkerish.
I never had stalker tendencies. Let's be very clear. Never had those.
We find out a lot today, aren't we?
Anyway, so yes, those things where males just disappear and then they resurface within a day or two, and then they give you some bullshit ass lie about what happened until, as ladies, we all know in some way women intuition that we get that very deep feeling in our stomach that this nigga is lying. Like something is not right with this conversation. You probably let it go. You even go out to dinner, go to eat, date, whatever the case may be. But something else comes back up, and then we can retract that back to how this mess started. And the pattern that started was that pet peeve of disappearing.
So,
what happens now when you disappear? Let's be clear. So let's resurface this back now to 2022. You go, you out with your friend or your uncle. I text you.
You talking about with me and you? Or
yes,
you
with
talking
me
about,
and you.
Or you talking about before?
No, with me and you do a disappearing act.
No, see, that's totally different.
No, it's not, babe. It's still the same disappearing act. The only thing is that you coming home to me every day.
No,
but
exactly.
You do get missing with your phone, but not to get missing. Let me be clear. Not to get missing that the man is cheating. I'm just saying that past moment did come with cheating. With this guy, I'm not giving him his props because he's my husband.
No. I gotta defend myself.
I'm defending you, babe. I'm not putting you out there.
How you gonna stab me and then try to heal me at the same time?
Because I hold the band-aids.
Man, anywho.
I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that when you go out, I have to text your phone more than once.
No.
And you come with your BS. I didn't hear it.
I've been gone for 30 minutes at the most.
You a liar.
30 minutes. And then she got her little henchman with her too, my daughter. So we'll be there when I get back. Well, Dad, you've been gone all day. Girl, I've been gone for an hour.
That's not my henchman.
She
has her own feelings.
Yeah, she your little henchman.
She has her own feelings, and we are raising her to speak her own mind.
Yeah, we're raising her to give some young man out there hell. Whoever you is, young man, you ain't got to worry about me too much. I'm going to be on your ass, me and her brother. But man, damn. So anyway, the whole point what I'm saying is if I go somewhere, I'm not, it's like that meme. They, women like, oh, they out there and every woman out, man, look, I'm somewhere turning a wrench on a car.
I don't care what that is. Your time management is always sucky-ish when you go out the
Then
door.
when I come back, I look like
No, he always he always come back home dirty. Yes, he does. He
yeah,
come back home dirty. But
I'm
I'm
really
just saying,
doing-
like, he ain't good with his phone either. So maybe that's a male trait.
no, it's
Maybe
not.
that's something y'all do.
No, this is
That
different.
y'all just a male trait. I don't know.
No, this is different, and this is what I'm trying to get at. Now, if you talking about dating situation and somebody ain't answering that phone, here's a couple things. One, they may not just really be that interested in you, because when you're interested in somebody, that's just like my granddaddy would say about a man wanting to marry a woman. If you want to marry that person or be with that person, ain't nothing gonna stop you from doing that. You're gonna make it your business and find the time to do that. So that's the same thing with somebody not answering you back on your text. You ain't the highest priority. But see, I think with a lot of people, you got to recognize that. It is what it is,
in
and
a lot
accept
of
it.
women, we do have to recognize that when we start
It ain't
seeing
women,
those.
it ain't just women though.
But
Men-
when they
men
always
gotta
go back to
accept
that
too.
saying when they show you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
And maybe in those ways you don't always want to believe it, because I think a lot of us
Here we go. Now the truth coming out.
we
Don't want to
always,
believe.
yeah, because we do look at men, and maybe some of those men who give you the little bit of a headache as a challenge. And we do look at them in our nurturing spirit
Why
that we
you
can
gonna look
change
at
them in a
somebody
way
as
that's
a challenge
better for
who
us.
ain't answering the phone?
Because in some way you could change that person to maybe one day you'll have a testimony and say this man was not answering his phone, and
so
then
we gonna
he
keep,
just
see
then
what
we
I'm
went
saying?
we
You see what
switched
I'm
a whole
saying?
new path.
There you go,
He's
right
a
there.
brand new man.
There you go right there. I did it. Look what I. No, you ain't did nothing.
Okay, so the man
But waste
changed on
your
his own.
time chasing somebody who was not concerned about you like that. You don't waste your time. And then when you get up, give like old folks say, when you give up the snatch pack, when you give it up, now you're upset and then you'll feel, oh, why you ain't call? Man, you know what this was from the beginning.
You may not know what it was. It
How
depends
you
on what
not
was
know
what
what
was
it
given
is?
to you in the beginning. Not everybody know what
Y'all,
it is.
he ain't answering your call all the time. He only answers
Well,
your call at a certain time.
this is why we talk about red flags, babe, because you have to understand those red flags to know what you should endure in something or not. What should you give time to or not? Some people will give that time.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing,
Some
though.
won't.
You got to accept what it is. You got to either accept somebody telling you straight up, look, this what it is. I ain't looking for no relationship like that. This is what I want to do. And you accept that and you go with it and not try to make it say, oh, well, I'm going to change him. No. If it's been laid out like that, then you got to accept it. Now, if they don't lay it out like that, and then they still showing you, because a mouth could tell you anything, but if they showing you, you ain't coming around no family functions. You only getting a phone call after 9 o'clock. Y'all don't go on no dates. Mm-hmm. You ain't met no friends. Mm-hmm. You ain't came to their house once when the sun up. Mm-hmm. You got to leave before the sun come back up.
Yeah, I didn't have one of those, but I had one of those. So, you know.
Not you.
I did. No, it was we didn't always come to the same city at the same time. Mm. And I didn't learn about that until down the line as to why that was the case. But, you know. So
that means you lying to yourself then. Because you had
I mean, in some way I was allowing it. I was allowing it.
Okay, exactly. So
until I didn't want to allow it anymore.
All right,
so we allow what we allow. That's humans in general, baby. It ain't just men or women. We all allow what we allow for as long as we allow it.
Oh, exactly. So that means you accepted it.
At that moment, yes, I did. I'm being honest. I did accept that person for who that person was at that time.
When you see the red flag, you see the flags, you got to say to yourself, am I going to accept this or not? And not get mad because it ain't going the way you want it to be, or if you got in your mind that I'm finna change. And that go the same way with men too. Man, you know when somebody ain't right for you, because they might be right for somebody else. You know. You go around there.
Ain't no need to act a donkey when you already knew from the beginning this person may have not been right.
I'm just saying from a man's perspective, because you were going off from a woman's perspective. From a man's perspective, you go around there at a certain time. You ask to holler at her at a different time to pick her up or something. She ain't with that. She don't want you to come pick her up. Y'all can't meet up at her house. Y'all can't go nowhere. without her phone going off all the time and her having secret texts and conversations and shit like that. You say something about the phone, she give you a dirty look. You know what time it is. So you accept that and be like, hey, okay, that's what it is. But then if you haven't laid it out already, you lay it out to her like, look, I know you got people calling your phone, people calling my phone. This what it is.
So I guess all in all, in our whole conversation, understanding our past red flags to our present, I mean, we still communicate about it. It's some things that he bring up sometimes that I've never heard of, and we've been together almost 10 years now. But that's good dialogue in order to still get to know each other even more in our marriage, even maybe in some way draw ourselves closer in our community. We always had great communication from day one.
Yeah, but see, we ain't talking about really husband. We talking about other people who.
Well, we talking about other people who's out there, yes,
searching
but
and looking and don't understand,
yes,
and sitting there seeing some of this stuff and saying, well, maybe is this it, or maybe look, you see it, you hearing it,
you hear it,
you know what it is. Sometimes I think people need to just close their eyes and hear what's going on,
use your
and
senses.
assess what's going on, and then go from there. Because a lot of times you'll sit there and look and see something, and you want it so damn bad, you know the shit ain't right, and you keep going for the bullshit.
So don't go for the bullshit, people, in the words of my husband Benjamin.
And if you do accept the bullshit, be 100 with yourself and say you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean that probably would help
because that's what it is.
Yourself.
And don't try to lie about it and get mad when what you already known to be true come out.
In the words of my good philosopher right here. Thank y'all for joining us for another episode of Talk That Talk with Ben
And Tiffany.
Yay, he said my name.
I say your name enough.